Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to Kottabos Space Program, where today we are having a look at yet another wonderful mod, this time in the form of Kerbal Kommander, which is being made by forum user Kerbin, and what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is, well, actually not quite what it wants to add, but what it wants to change. Effectively, what this mod does is it turns Kerbal Space Program from a space simulation game into a space adventure game by adding pre-built space stations all around the solar system that have jobs waiting for you to do. And that is freaking amazing. This basically turns the game almost into sort of a RPG slash business simulator slash space adventure. And how could you not love that? And now normally we would have already jumped into a save file here and started looking at things, but I actually have to sort of explain, well, one, why I have two save files, and how the mod actually is installed. Now normally whenever you have a mod, you throw it right into the game data folder and you're good to go. This one, on the other hand, you do that as normal. You throw the Kerbal Kommander folder into the game data folder, but it also comes with its own save file to start you on your journey. You don't go to start a new game over here, rather you get this particular save file, Kerbal Kommander, where you start the game with only Jebediah and 20,000 funds, and you have to use these funds to buy your very first spaceship and start making money. And now you can make money in a variety of ways, from trading, mining, asteroid hunting, science, and even some illegal practices. All are at your fingertips to then build up your fortune. And that's awesome. So let's jump right on into this new save file. Now, of course, I have my other test file here where I've been playing for a while to sort of show off what you can do with this game. So let's grab this one first and load into a fresh new Kerbal Kommander save. And you'll notice something very, very different. Rather than being brought to the Kerbal Space Center, we're brought straight to a space station. We are brought to the Kerbin station, where we have Jebediah. In fact, Jebediah is in this particular lander can right there. And yeah, this is just a beautiful station built around in orbit of Kerbin. And this is where we start. Now you'll notice an odd little part right up here with the solar panels, and we have another one down here. This is the actual Kerbal Kommander space station interface. As you can see here, we have the station screen, and this is basically where you do all your things. You'll notice it has a crap load of storage capacity for a variety of different materials, including new ones it adds in itself, like steel, diamond, and wood, and these are all of the different materials that you can trade in the game. Now, we'll talk more about trading in a little bit, but we should probably talk about your first steps. Once you're in here, again, you only have Jebediah. He is your only Kerbal you have available, and he needs a spaceship. So what you do is you go to this ship shop button right here, just click that, and we get this little interface here where we can buy a new ship, and if you click that, you can select from any pre-made ship that you have designed in this save file. Now, I've already designed one ship, which we could just go and buy if we so desired, but normally when you'd start the game, you would have no ships built in here, none at all. And so what you would need to do is actually go to design a new ship. And when you click this, you're actually taken away from this space station and away from Jebediah and back down to the VAB, where we can actually go and build our very first ship for this particular mod. And you can do whatever you like, just grab any part, but remember the cost. You start this game with only 20,000 funds, so you're not going to want to build something extravagant. That's why, I mean, I'm going to go back to this one that I built earlier. My monstrosity is almost all of the money that we have. 19,895. So basically we can buy this and nothing else. And I built this thing to, you know, serve multiple roles of trading as well as mining, which is always good. And yeah, it's not the most beautiful of ships, but it works, and it works decently well enough. But of course, you can start and create any random thing you want, including drone ships. You don't have to have it controlled by a Kerbal. You can, in fact, build a drone ship like you would with anything else. So if we just make this weird little thing real quick, there we go. We've made a ship. We could save it. Then go to leave, and when we go and leave, it's going to actually put us back in the Kerbal Space Center here rather than take us back up to the space station, which I wish it would take you back to the space station, but oh well, all we have to do is go to the tracking station, and here's where I'll show you how big this mod is. We have 20 different space stations scattered around the solar system. These are all of our options that we have for places to go to, trade, mine, find asteroids, etc. Whatever you want to do with money, you have all these space stations to select from. That is 20 all around the solar system, from Kerbin and Minmus, the Moon, Duna, Ike, Eve, etc. And even, you know, these are the normal stations, but we also, remember I said you can also do occasionally some illegal things? You have pirate stations. So you have normal stations and pirate stations. And I'll talk more about what you can do at pirate stations in a little bit, but for now, let's go right back to the Kerbin station, and just keep in mind, 20 freaking space stations for you to go and visit all around the solar system. That's what's really fun about this, and eventually the mod maker actually hopes to make it so that you can actually create your own space station. Like right now, basically, all these are, I guess you would consider NPC/privately owned space stations, but they eventually hope to add a mechanic for building your own, which I think would be quite cool. But now that we have designed a ship, what you need to do, this is the ship one, it still thinks that the window is open over here for some reason, so we just have to close that, and then open it again, and we can actually build our new ship now. Now that we have designed it, we can build it. So if we go there, we could select our very weird little thing, or of course, select our monstrosity. Now here's where things get a little bit weird with your ships. If I load this, it's gonna be built, and it's gonna spawn itself right over there. And now you have to get to it. That's why every ship I've built so far in this mod has had a probe core attached, because of course Jebediah is here, right there in that lander can, and I would have to, normally when I start the game, I'd have to get him out of that lander can, use his jetpack to go over and fly to this, get inside, and then bring it back to dock to do other things I may need, which is a little weird, but I mean, that's what has to be done, which is a little strange, but oh well, what are you gonna do? But we have purchased a ship, and now you'll notice our funds are dwindled down to near nothing, and that's well because we made a very expensive ship. Now, how you make money in the game is through a variety of means, and what I'm actually gonna do now that I've showed you how the game starts and how you build your first ship, we're actually gonna get out of this game, go to my other save file, and I'll show you how all the other things work. So I'm actually just gonna cut to when I have the next save file loaded up. See you in a sec. Okay, we are now loading back into the Kerbin station now that I'm on my test file for this game. And yeah, we can show off how you actually do trading, because it is a little tiny bit wonky. Oh yeah, I forgot I crashed into this station earlier. We got some debris flying around. Yeah, that, you all know my flying. That's bound to happen inevitably. But alright, so I have my little monstrosity ship, which actually Jebediah is inside of and piloting, and it's been docked to the station, and the reason I designed this ship is one of the fun things you can do with this for earning money is mining. So I've got a mining drill on here, a little ore storage container, which I have full of ore, and so I can go and sell this. And so what's fun is whether you're mining or doing just general trading, when you go into the station interface, we can go here to this trading screen, and this is where you buy and sell items. So for instance, if you just have like a cargo ship that you build when you first jump in the game, that's what you could do. You could roll around selling goods between space stations, because every space station has a different amount of money that they are willing to spend for buying and selling all these various goods. So whether it be fuel down to wood, diamond, etc., every space station will have different prices. Now, right now, those prices are set in stone, and there's actually a little text file that comes with this mod to tell you what they all are so you can get a handle on things. But eventually, the mod maker actually wants it to be dynamic. So the more you spend in one area, you know, it'll change the prices, etc. But this is also how you would refuel, of course. You're flying around trying to sell diamonds to people, you're going to use up fuel. So you'd have to go in here and buy fuel for your ship. But of course, we need to sell some things. And I have some ore in my holding tank. Now, how you do this is you actually have to transfer it into the station part first. So we just go and right-click that. And, well, you know the usual thing of Alt right-click. And then we transfer out of our holding tank and in to this ore container right here. So we send all that out. We now have that 75 ore right there in the station. That's what all of this storage in here is for. This is where you put stuff into to then sell. And if we want to sell that ore, we just click on the ore button here in the trading area, and down on this bottom one, which is sell, we just move the slider to how much we want to sell. We could sell all 75, as you can see here, and it'll be for a total of, oh god, only 0.75. Wow, ore doesn't sell for much. Or we could, you know, just sell 20 of it if we so desire, and yeah, what the heck, we'll do that. We'll sell 20, and there we go. We now have 55 here in the station screen, and if we wanted, well, we could buy more. And we could buy up to the, 10,000 that is able to sell at a time for 200. And what's fun is, of course, I have a little Convertotron on here, so I can buy like 10,000 ore, then start converting it into fuel, and we could sell the fuel. So, for instance, if I just go back here, and let's just transfer all of the liquid fuel out of there. Boom. Now we can go in and sell all that liquid fuel that I just put into the station, and for quite a bit more than ore. So you can be a manufacturer too, technically, in this game. You could buy ore from a station, turn it into liquid fuel and oxidizer, and then sell it back to the station at a higher price. Just all depends on what you're wanting to do. So you can either use this whole interface in here to buy things like diamond and steel, and then fly to another station to sell it for a better price, or you can sit here manufacturing, or of course, take this ship down to the planet's surface, mine the materials, bring them back and either process them or just sell the raw ore. So that is how you do trading, mining, and technically manufacturing as well. All fun things. Now, another way to make money is asteroid hunting. Now, I'll be completely frank with you guys. I tried to find a way to do this on here, but yeah, you all know I'm not the greatest pilot. I have never been able to actually capture an asteroid. But what you can do in this mod is use the tracking station to find an asteroid, rendezvous with it with your ship, bring it back to a station after you've captured it, click this, and then you'll find your asteroid once you bring it back here, and just sell it. And the amount of money you make from the asteroid is dependent on how big it is. So the bigger the asteroid, the more money you will make from it, and it is a lot of money from what I've seen. Again, I'm not good enough to do that, but it is something you can do. So we're actually going to go back to the tracking station here real quick and go to another station around Minmus to talk about this, how you can make money through science, which I think is actually my favorite way of making money in this right now. I mean, trading, mining, and manufacturing is all fun, but I mean, I love science. How can you not love making money through science? So over here at the Minmus station, I have a little science vessel docked to this particular place, and we'll show you how that works, and also how crews work. Because remember, we only start this game with Jebediah. But as you can see here, inside of this little science ship I made, I have Durson Kerman, who's a really crappy pilot, but nonetheless a pilot. And, well, oh no, we gotta make some science money, so we're gonna need some scientists here in our processing lab. So what we're gonna need to do first is actually buy some scientists, and that's pretty easy. All we gotta do is go once again to the science screen interface, go to crew hire, and here is the list of crew members we can actually pick up at this station. Ooh, man, that is actually a really good scientist right there, and they're gonna cost us 50,000 funds. The cheapest I've seen for a person is 10,000, and that was Derson here, so he has no skill whatsoever, so he was really cheap. 20,000 for 1 star, 30,000 for 2 stars, etc., etc. So the better they are, the more expensive they're going to be, but then they are your crew member, and you can send them on other ships to make money in other ways, and that's just cool. So let's buy this particular scientist right here, and that scientist is going to spawn inside this crew hatch right here, or this lander can, the same place where we found Jebediah at the beginning of the game. So what we're going to want to do, I'm going to close this real quick, and transfer this guy into our science processing lab, and then we're gonna go and buy another crewman, because of course we want 2 people in there. A 3-star scientist, that's pretty good. Excellent. So let us just transfer them in. Beautiful, we now have both of them inside of our science processing lab, and let's make some money. So there are 2 ways to make money through science, either direct transmission of experiments, or by using the processing lab itself. So if you just want to use an experiment and get some quick cash, like say this observe mystery goo, we can run that experiment, and there we go, it pops right up, and we can just select to transmit the data right here, right now. And if we click that, yes, I want to transmit, there we go, we just made 778 funds by transmitting that data. So that 1 mystery goo container was way more than that ore that I had in our 1 ship, and so we got a little bit of more money, which is great. But if you don't mind spending the time, you can make even more money if we observe this mystery goo, and of course have the data sent to the processing lab. Boom. Now we can start processing this research, and if we, just speed up time a little bit, just to pick up a little bit of this science, let's say, wait for it to get like 10 science out of it. So we're processing the data, blah, 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 and of course you can go away, do something else while this is working. You can go do a mining mission, then come back later to find your processing lab still working. There we go, we've gotten 10. Oh, lovely, we're now on the dark side. Let's speed up just so we're in the light on this thing. Come on, a little bit more. There we go. Beautiful. We're now in the light. Lovely. And now we can transmit this data that we've collected, or processed rather, in the science lab. So we can just transmit this, and we'll make 1,038 funds from that amount of science. So the longer they can process that data, the more money you're going to make. And it can be quite lucrative indeed. And that is just fun and very cool. So that's how you buy you some crew members, and of course also how you process the science. Now the last thing, we're going to have to yet again go back to the tracking station to go to one of the pirate stations. Now at the moment, the pirate station is not quite fully fledged. What you can do at them is buy slaves. That is an illegal good that, of course, the authorities don't want spreading around the solar system. So, yeah, that's all you can do with them for the time being. Now, the mod maker is actually hoping to add in quests and missions and even a faction system eventually, so hopefully the whole crime thing gets more fledged out. And actually, I should talk about another thing. Another wonderful thing coming, quote-unquote, soon, is the potential for dogfights, which I really want to see in this, because that'd be fun. So in the future, perhaps if you break the law, someone might come after you. For now, all you can do at a pirate station, which of course looks exactly the same as a normal station, is when you go in here, you'll notice we have a new option, and that's slave trafficking. And if we click that, we can buy a male or female slave for 1,100 funds. So if we go and buy a slave, there we go. It's now, Kerman right there is in, again, the same lander can that they always pop into. Now, of course, there's multiple lander cans in this thing, so if you transfer one at a time as you buy them, then you're good. They'll always be there. Otherwise, you kind of have to find them, and of course, if you keep buying things, you may have to find them in these passenger parts. But if I had, unfortunately I don't, and also it would take quite a while to do, if we transferred this slave into a ship and try and take it to another pirate station to sell, we could make more money. Because again, just like with the trade goods, these slaves will sell for different prices at different stations. But if we get too close to a normal station, you get in trouble with the law, which right now all that means is the slave gets taken out of your inventory and you get fined for being a horrible, horrible criminal. But hopefully in the future, when the whole faction system gets added, etc., you'll have more interesting things that happen. Perhaps even some people go after you. But for now, all you can do is buy and then sell, and that is it. And, of course, the minor slap-on-the-wrist punishment for getting too close to a normal station. And, well, that's what you can do in this game right now of this lovely Kerbal Kommander mod. Again, in the future, they hope to add a lot of new things. UI improvements, of course, to make all these different things look a lot nicer. Transport companies, they want to add in exploration activities, so more stuff with science, the quest and missions and factions that I mentioned, the possibility of creating your own space station, dogfighting, dynamic economy, and a whole lot more. It's just, there's so many freaking possibilities with this thing, and it makes me happy to see it be a thing that exists in this game. I mean, come on, who doesn't want to roll around in this solar system having adventures and trying to make a living on, you know, in space? It's just fun. So if you would like to try this mod for yourself, you can take a look at the link in the description as always. Yeah, that's really all I can think of to actually show you guys, besides the fact, oh, I actually didn't show this off in the sell ship, or the ship shop there we go. Try saying that too many times fast. We can also sell a ship. So if we have a ship that is close by, which unfortunately it's docked, hold on. Undock. There we go. And then go to sell ship. Oh. Must be near the station. You are in. This was working earlier for me. Must not be a space station or debris. It might be because it's too close still. Must not contain crew. It does not. Okay. Oh, I think I may have broken something. This was working earlier, so let's do this again. Ah, there it is. Yeah, it just needed to float away a little bit more. It was too close to the docking port. So there we go. We can sell that ship and just be rid of it. And that is how the asteroids work as well. I probably should have been a bit more clear on the asteroids. You don't actually have to dock with the space station to get the asteroid to be sold. You just need to get nearby and you'll have this same selection menu here, and then you're good to go. So yeah, that now is everything that I can think of. I'm probably forgetting something, but you know what? There's so much to explore with this mod, and hopefully so much more to come soon. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. I hope you all have enjoyed, and of course that you do come back for the next episode when we'll be looking at yet another wonderful mod. But until that time, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.